we're not just doing what most people want to do when they have money, and that is just like spend it.
It doesn't cost anything. It's just like every day creating something new. Create a blog post, educational about your product. Take that same content from your blog, make a video. Again, there's no cost involved.
How do we get a return on every dollar that we spend?
Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real, the holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inboxes flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com.
You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manel and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thank you for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
If you catch me squinting a little bit, it's because I just stared right into these new beautiful lights that our producer Jen recommended for us.
Yeah.
Which I think makes me look much better.
You think so?
It was the lighting the whole time, Jason.
No.
Now everything's going to be much better for you.
I think you were born this way. There's nothing that's going to fix that.
Speaking of Jen, before we get started, we're going to have a new question and answer section on our website where you can go and you could submit your own any questions you may have, and we're going to have we're planning on having an extra episode where we just have like short little snippets where we answer questions from you guys. So go over to our website and check out the question and answer section, and you can submit your own question and we'll do our best to answer it on the show.
Yeah, and if we have one that could be an entire episode, then that's what we'll do.
Right, exactly. Today did you have something, Jason? I'm sorry.
No, good.
As always, we talk about our experiences on this podcast, and a lot of times when we come on here, we talk about, Facebook ads and building an email list and having, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and spending thousands of dollars a day that we have done and our clients have done. And, we realize we weren't always at that point. And we realize a lot of you aren't always at that point. So we were just thinking about like some of the things that we've done recently that we've kind of like started from scratch, not had a lot of money to put into the project, but things we've done to like get the ball rolling, because I know that can be a barrier for people to get their businesses going.
Well, we've had the money. It's just that, one thing that we see a lot with our clients is that they hire us. They have money, some of them, right? Like when I say money, I mean like money, like real money to spend. And they just want you to spend the money, right? You're like, oh, let's spend it. And it's okay if you have a lot of it to do that. I mean, but for most of us, we don't. And Kevin and I have started on this new project recently with someone, and we're not going to get into exactly what it is right now because it's brand new and we don't really know. Um, we just don't want to disclose it just yet, basically.
Yeah. Eventually we'll talk more about it.
Eventually
Me
we
too.
will. But we started this new business with someone, and as you guys know, Kevin and I have gotten to a point where we've been partnering up with a lot of, I don't want to say influencers, but a lot of experts in various fields. Excuse me. And we're finding that for us, because we're not big, huge content people. Excuse me. We're not big, huge content people, but we're really, quite frankly, good at our end of things, the marketing side. So we like partnering up with people who may already have a business, just need help marketing it. And we came across someone who we started a business with, and we do have, it's not that we don't have money, because we do have money. It's just that we're bootstrapping it. So we're not just doing what most people want to do when they have money, and that is just like spend it.
Well, you
right?
made a good point too before when I said not having the money. It's kind of like wasn't the right way to put it, because even if this person came to us and it was like, I have millions of dollars to put into the marketing of that, we would have been like, okay, let's take this slow. Let's do the trust the process. Do certain things in a certain order. And let's not just go out. And we've had that with our clients too. Clients get like money into their businesses from investors, and they want to just be like, just go spend it. That's pretty
Right.
much
And
all they want to do. And you're like,
right,
no, we're not going to do that.
well, the problem with just quote unquote just spending it is then you have to report back later. And they, that's the problem with it. You can't just spend it. And because you're gonna need to like tell them why you did that or what was the reason. So we just took on this business, this new business, as like, look, if we need to put money into it, we will, but we're not going into it like we're gonna spend a ton of money, because at the end of the day, like, I want our investments to be calculated. I don't want them to necessarily be like taking a shot in the dark, so to speak, and hoping and praying that things work. So whether we have the money or not, we still take the same approach, regardless how big the company is or small, or if it's new or if it's old or whatever, we still take the same approach. And basically that approach is pretty simple. It's like, how do we get a return on every dollar that we spend? And that's really like where we start. We always start there. And I don't mean, when I say start there, I don't mean we start the business there, because obviously we create a website. Obviously we figure out what the offer is. We figure out what we're going to give away, yada, yada, yada. But from the marketing standpoint, we're always trying to just figure out how we make a return on our dollar.
And like proof of concept behind your product really doesn't have to be too expensive. I mean, there's resources like just creating content around your product and seeing if people are engaging with it on an organic basis is really all you need. Or even like really low budget ads, which is what we did. Like we were spending $20 a day on an ad, and we were able to see that people were actually interested in the topic and they were engaging with the topic. We were looking at other resources to see how people were engaging with similar content. So that doesn't really cost a lot to just get your proof of concept. I mean, yes, selling a product might cost some money, but just to see if people will eventually buy your product doesn't have to cost a whole lot.
No, and then the other side of it is like, that you can do this organically. Paid ads, in my mind, are just a way to speed up the process a little bit. But there are certainly ways to do Facebook Lives or create a Facebook group. People will find you if the group is named properly, because that's how they search Facebook, right? For groups. So, you can certainly even spend $10 a day and just try to get people into your group and then do Facebook Lives. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this without spending a lot of money. But this particular business, we decided like, look, we have a little bit of money to spend. Let's run some ads and just get some people on our email list. And the business is actually, we call it a business, but we've really just been working on it for the past 5 months or whatever. But we recently sent out like an email campaign and created a sales page, using, sales copy. And I don't know, we did pretty well. We did like what, $6,000-7,000, Kevin, the
Yeah,
first
something
month,
like that. Yeah.
the first month.
Yeah. And it was just a matter like we spent, I think, $14 on a hosting package. We didn't like go out and buy the most expensive. Like our hosting right now for our one of our businesses, I don't even know how much it costs.
It's like 150 a month.
Yeah. And we spent $14 for the year for hosting. We
year.
built a really simple website on WordPress. Again, still $14. Then we just created a PDF, ebook type PDF, put an ad out to see if we could get people to give us their email address. We've been doing that. And that's another thing, like while you're building the infrastructure, while you're building the sales page that Jason's talking about, while you're like finishing the content, if it's an info product, you're finishing the, manufacturing of your product or whatever it is, get that ball rolling, spend a couple dollars a day and see if you can get a couple people to give you their email address for, even a PDF. And that's like one of the main things I think. And is like the content side of it. It's like, just start making content. And that is a struggle for a lot of people. And it doesn't cost anything. It's just like every day creating something new, create a blog post about your product, educational about your product. Take that same content from your blog, make a video. Again, there's no cost involved, but you're just getting some motion going. So when you do have your product, you're not just sitting there with really nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's interesting. I forgot who I was talking to about this. Like, it took, in my case, like, let's call it like 16 years to really have a quote unquote successful company. But since then,
What happened at that 16-year mark, Jason? Oh, you met me. I forgot.
No.
That's right. I remember.
That was it.
No,
that was not it. But no, what the point was, like, it took us all that time to figure out how to create a, multi-million-dollar, brand, like from scratch. But it seems like a lot of what we've done since then, with that experience has kind of worked. And it's funny to look back at how many things we've tried and failed at, and how the things that we've tried recently, how they've worked. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that like an interesting thing to think about? It's like we're so much more confident in starting a business now because we know what the hell we're doing.
And I think the biggest thing that we've learned, all these things consider these, these actual tactical things, or this list of things that you can do. It's just like patience, I think, is what we've learned. We learned that like it's not going to happen overnight. A lot of these content things, if you're not spending money on ads, it's going to take a while for organically your brand to take off or your product to take off. But if you can have patience and just trust the process, you'll be in good shape.
Ever wonder how those e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they know just the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant emails and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Let's be real, the holiday season is approaching quickly, and we all know what that means. Inboxes flooded with customer emails and overwhelming social media activity. What if we told you that ChatDesk could supercharge your support team with superfans of your brand and instantly train them to perfectly respond with your brand's voice and policy from day one? No, you're not dreaming. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading companies such as Thinx and Shea Moisture use ChatDesk to increase their Facebook and Instagram ad conversion by up to 15%. With one click, ChatDesk connects with your existing help desk, so you can have time for the rest of your to-do list and make Black Friday and Cyber Monday the best ever. For a limited time, you can get started with ChatDesk for free. Check it out at chatdesk.com. That's ChatDesk.com.
It's funny that you say that, because when I was running the sales page, you didn't really have much patience. When is this going to be done? Where are you? It's been a month. How come it's not finished yet? What's going on? I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, it takes time, Kevin. It takes time. But the point of the matter is that, the things that you hear from people, like build an audience, build an email list, they sound very elementary on their face, but they're true. That's not fake. Building an audience will never not serve you, right? It'll always serve you to have an audience. It will always serve you to create an email list. It may not work the first time. It may not be perfect, but it will always serve you. In fact, Kevin, before you say what you're about to say, this particular business that we started, this new one, the interesting thing about it was that our partner went on other podcasts and sent people to a landing page, and that was free, and that worked the best, even better than our paid advertising.
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of like what I'm saying. It's like, I forget what I was going to say now. I totally lost my train of thought.
No, but podcasting is another way. Go on people's podcasts, get your name out there.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, building an audience, like you were saying, off your building an audience thing. It's like, I feel like it's just never been easier, and it's always getting easier as we go. Like all the things you mentioned earlier, like just starting a free Facebook group, starting your own podcast, being on other people's podcasts. Like go out and pitch yourself to interview on a podcast that the topic revolves around your product, but just send an email, because people are always looking for, we're looking for people to interview on our podcast. Same thing. There's podcasts on every topic that exists. So if you can get on there, it's like free advertisement. Exactly what you said.
Yeah, and they're looking for people to get on. Now you're not going to go to like somebody with millions and millions and millions of downloads, but you don't need to. Go on an up and coming podcast. They're always looking for people. It's a great way to get out there for free, and just send them to a landing page. And when people are in real pain and they hear your podcast or they hear this podcast, they'll take action. I mean, the truth is like you get credibility when you're on other people's podcasts, whether you realize it or not. I mean, people trust people that are out in the public or in the public eye, and they just automatically trust you for whatever reason when they hear you on someone else's podcast that they trust or they listen to.
Yeah, and then do them as much as you can. I mean, being on, like Jason said, podcasting is difficult, right? As far as to gather an audience and having a popular podcast, because it takes a lot to have a large audience, like a Joe Rogan or something like that. So if you get on a podcast that has like 10,000 followers or 10,000 downloads a month or something, it's the same as go on 10 of those instead of trying to get on one that has 100,000 or 1,000,000 followers. Just do it more often, and then the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, describing your product, talking about it, and things like that. Yeah, same thing with influencers. Send your product to influencers. They love seeing themselves on camera. And a lot of these people who are just starting out, maybe have 10,000 followers or something on their page or whatever, they'll promote your product if they like it for free, just to get some free shit. And I think that's
that's a big one. I mean, and I think what it comes down to, Kevin, is that people want the easy way out, and they think that running Facebook ads is the holy grail, and that's the easy way out, when in fact you can like spend thousands and thousands of dollars and get more frustrated than doing anything else. Whereas if you just go into it, realizing it's just going to take some time, and if you're consistent, eventually things will work out for you. I mean, but you don't need money. And that's the funny part about all this is like, for those of you who are just starting out, I mean, like I said, we can spend thousands of dollars. We just choose not to, because you don't really need it. Money is not really the problem. Everybody thinks it's the problem, but it's not really the problem.
It's a good foundation too. If you go into it and you have money to spend and you just put your product out there, on Facebook ads, spend $1,000 a day or whatever it may be. And then you don't even, while you're doing that, do these things that we're talking about, the organic stuff, the content, the blogs, the videos, the podcasts. You're going to have no foundation in your business. If your ads get taken away, your ads get shut down for whatever reason, at least you'll have that foundation to fall back on too.
Yeah. So what we did with this business, this new business, just to give you guys some actionable steps, we teamed up with someone who was an expert in their field. He went on several podcasts. We sent them to a landing page where they can get on like a waiting list for our product and download a PDF, like Kevin said.
With a discount when it's launched.
Yeah, with a discount when it's launched. And then basically we just sent an email to everybody, let them know that the course was live. And I think that first email made like $3,600, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
$3,600, and then there were 35. That's 35 or something. I don't know, something like that. And then we sent out some other emails, and then we, we made the sales page, our homepage of our website. So, we really did all the things, or we really did everything that we could that didn't require money. I mean, that was just like an added thing. It wasn't even like our core strategy.
Yeah. And so now we have the product, and we have some people are actually willing to buy it. We have kind of like the process. We have the content that we can use to sell it. Now we can start really spending some money on Facebook ads to kind of scale up a little bit.
And the crazy part about it is, Kevin, because like, I fall into this trap sometimes of listening to the quote unquote gurus. And, the crazy part about this is like, we're doing this. This is a $500 product that we're selling through a sales page and no video VSL, right? You hear everybody talking about, oh, you need a VSL, video sales letter. No, you don't actually. We just did a sales page and people bought,
Yeah. It could help. I mean, it could definitely optimize things, make them better, but you don't need it.
Well, we're gonna work on
right
that.
away.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. But let's just say you're a solopreneur and you launched this website as we did. You launched it alone and made $7,000 or whatever, $6,000 with a couple emails.
Yeah.
How would you feel? Be pretty freaking stoked.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, you don't have to make it complicated. You don't have to make it simple. I think that, I think one thing that a lot of people get tripped up on and they don't spend enough time on it is making sure their product is solving a real problem.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I just got a text message yesterday that I forgot to respond to. From a guy.
You forgot to respond to a text message? How's that even possible? You can't resist responding to text messages.
Yeah. So my stepfather had somebody that needs help with something. He's inventing something and he wants to possibly for us to help him. But he doesn't have the product yet. So I kind of get like a little like, but he's like, the thing is like with this guy, he's a graduate of the Naval Academy. He's like top of his class. He's a former Navy SEAL, like you just know he's going to do it right. You know what I mean? So you're like, you kind of, but yeah, like if you solve a real problem, I think it's the major thing. I mean, going into something, if your product isn't solving a major problem, then it's just not going to work no matter what you do, no matter who you listen to, no matter what guru tells you to do what. If it's just a product that's not helping people solve a problem, they're not going to buy it. But you could have crappy marketing, crappy sales page, crappy everything, but your product solves the problem that people need. Like, if you need a problem solved and you find something and like the sales page sucks, but it's really going to work, who cares?
Yeah. And find that core pain point and just keep poking at it. I mean, sometimes as you evolve, like, I think this project that we're working on will evolve too, is like, we'll really start to learn what these people's pain point is. Like, we're not even 100% sure yet what that's going to be. It could evolve over the next, several months or even year. And when we finally find that, and we could just hit on that over and over again.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we did. I mean, I don't know, maybe it doesn't sound as shiny objecty, but we literally just created a sales page, got people on a waiting list. They were able to download. I know it was different. They didn't download the PDF and go on the waiting list. The waiting list were people from the podcast because he was able to explain the waiting list.
Yeah.
But our Facebook ads were people downloading a PDF. And really, that's it. You know, to be honest with you, Kevin, if, you know, when we like launching new businesses, sort of, I think like going on people's podcasts is really like a cool way to get exposure for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
So,
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, you could check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
later.
Attention e-commerce founders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, marketers, and growth hackers. If you're working around the clock to build your dream e-commerce business, you need an e-commerce marketing platform that works just as hard as you do. That means you need Klaviyo. With Klaviyo, you'll delight customers and drive revenue at the same time. With personalized email and SMS marketing campaigns, you can design and send in minutes. For more, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Today's episode is sponsored by ChatDesk. Are you struggling to respond to all your social media comments, DMs, and customer emails? Well, you're not alone. That's why ChatDesk came up with a solution to supercharge your support team instantly. With ChatDesk, machine learning and human support come together to transform your support tickets into satisfied customers. Leading brands such as Thinx and Shea Moisture lean on ChatDesk to increase revenue and customer satisfaction. Get started for free at chatdesk.com or click on the link in our show notes.